Okay, so let's review today's price section on EURUSD. So firstly, I'm going to do a review of the execution you have watched on NY session, and then I will do a breakdown of London session. It was a short also, and that's for all the people who want to learn more. Firstly, we're going to do just a breakdown of this trade that you have just seen. So firstly, as you can see, today is Thursday, and we have a red folder news, which means we can trade today. Okay, so let's go here to the daily time frame. Now let me just do this. Okay, so what I see here is that we have disrespected this fair value gap going higher, and now we are disrespecting this fair value gap right here by pushing higher above it. The next target that I was looking for is this high right here, then maybe this high, and I'm doing that, which is the weekly time frame actually. So basically we have this daily buy sell liquidity, which is the previous week's high, and above that we have a weekly fair value gap. So that's that second high that I'm like looking forward to seeing get reached on the weekly time frame right here. So as you can see, this is the previous that was the previous week's high. On this one I was looking with this one to go higher into that, but we did not, but that still remains the target. And then the weekly fair value gap. Then we might go lower or not, we'll see. Maybe we reach this one, we'll see what happens, but for now my target is that, which means I'm bullish on EURUSD on the higher time frames. I don't know why this is taking so long to load, but bear with me. Okay, so here we can see we had this fair value gap right here, lower, which we didn't need, but in terms of everything right here that I see, I saw only this 4-hour buy sell liquidity, and then we have this daily, but in terms of the 4-hour, I saw only this buy sell liquidity right here. All of these were already taken, and we had these highs that were also taken by this candle. In terms of the lows, we do not have much, as you can see. So let's go to the 1 hour. Okay, so on the 1 hour, we can see this gap that I thought at that time that we might reject lower, and this swing high, which is the 4-hour one. And basically that was it. We had this fair value that just formed, which is also one reason why I did not want to hold all the way to here, because if we could go higher from here, Other than that, we have these lows right here. Okay, so now let's go to the 15-minute time frame. Okay, so here we have the 8:30 right here, which is the news release, as you can see right here, and those are also key liquidity points. So this swing high, as you can see right here, was a key swing high or key liquidity pool that we took out, and we took out also this key liquidity pool, and we had this gap on the 1 hour fair value gap. This is a 1 hour gap, which kind of didn't hold. As you can see, it pushed through it, but in the end it swept this, then started going lower. And also we had this 15-minute swing low right here, which was my target for this particular trade. Other than that, we have a 15-minute fair value gap and these relative equal lows. So if this was an A plus setup, I maybe would have put my TP right here, and then after price reached 1 to 2, just set my stop loss to break even and hold. Okay, or maybe, for example, I would do something like putting my stop at so stop loss at break even once price reaches 1 to 2. Let me just demonstrate. Okay, so let's say this is our trade and price reaches 1 to 2 right here. Now I put stop loss to break even, and then let's say that price reaches so let's say that the stop loss is right here, then price reaches a 1 to 3 right here, and then I move my stop, let's say, to 1 to 2, which will be, let's say, here. Okay, and then if price comes back like this, it will stop me out plus 2%. If not, if it doesn't do that, if it does maybe like something like this, and then continues lower, then my target gets reached and I get a plus, let's say, 5R or something like that. That's also one thing I could have done, but today, not today. I'll explain later why. So after this, we can go to the 2-minute time frame where I took my trade. Okay, so here I was watching price from 9:30. It swept this, which is nice, right after 9:30, then started going lower. Now I was not interested in any of these because, as you can see, there was no real break of structure with the fair value gap. We only had this inversion, which I would have taken maybe a trade if we closed with this candle below it right here, but we did not. We continued moving higher, so I did not want to get involved into that. Then we had a break of structure right here below these lows with energy, and we left the fair value gap. Now this was significant for me because, as you can see, right before that happening, we reached back higher into a 5-minute inversion fair value gap. Okay, so right here there was the inversion, so we went lower through it, and then with this next candle right before the break of structure happened, so we went here, went higher into this one, and then the break of structure happened. So I had confidence into the trade because of that. That's the main reason why I took this trade. So we are back on the 2-minute time frame. Here we can see this. I executed on this candle, so we went higher. I was looking for it to maybe touch the inversion one more time, but it did not. So once it retraced back into here and started going a bit, like the candle started moving a bit higher, then lower, I decided to enter and got that specific entry on the fair value gap, and my stop was just above the inversion, and I was targeting this 15 minutes sell-side liquidity pool for the 2.36 RR. So stop could have been even less, but the important part is that it is above the 5-minute fair value gap. So this is as low as I will go, but I decided to go safe and put it on the 5 bips. Okay, so the next target of the would be the daily lows at 8:30. This would be a, I think, a 6R trade. That'd be good, but I did not like today because I said that I will explain it later. Now is later, so let me explain. We had a sweep of liquidity, but we did not reach into any fair value gap. That's still fine. That's still a good trade, but it's not A plus. Then also, as you know, the higher time frame bias was bullish, which is 2 reasons why this trade could fail. Okay, so that's 2 out of 5, I think, on the checklist. So this is for me an A grade trade, and the bias doesn't really matter to me that much because I'm a scalper, but fair value gap would have been really nice to see here. If I saw the fair value gap, I probably would have tried to aim for more, but anyway, so that's the reason why I didn't go. This was enough for me, just a piece of the move, which is completely fine. And basically I risked 0.5% on this one because yeah, yesterday I was with yesterday's trade I was minus 3%, so from that point on I'm risking 0.5% until I'm back at the original balance. Probably we'll see. So yeah, that's basically we are looking for this to get reached, and then that's basically it. If we are super bearish, then these relatively lows and the fair value gap right here, the 4-hour. But for now, just this one would be my next target. So that's basically this trade. Now we can go into the London session one. Okay, so let's review the London session trade, exactly how I would go with it if I didn't know what happened. Okay, so if I was trading it. So we can first look into this on the 4-hour. We have this daily fair value gap. Okay, we can see it right here. If this is gonna load anytime soon. Okay, so this is the fair value gap that I'm talking about, and we last day seen a rejection right here, and then let's say that we are still expecting lower prices. Let me just mark this out. I don't think we are gonna need it, but let's mark it out anyway. So on the 4-hour, as you can see right here, we have this, which is the previous day's high, but it's also a, let's just do it with this so that it's more clean. So this is the 4-hour buy sell liquidity and also the previous day's high. Okay, so let's drop to the lower time frame now, and let's see what we have there. So on the hourly we have this to reach, okay, and on the other side we don't have really much except these lows right here and this gap. So okay, let's do the 15 minute. So on the 15 minute here we can see all of these lows right here, and other than that, let's see what do we have about these sessions. Okay, so here we have the Asia high, which was taken before, but let me mark it anyway, and we have the Asia low, which could be a pretty nice target. Okay, now we don't need this anymore, and let's see, let's mark out so 3 to 4, which is the trading period for the silver bullet. And so we have these relative equal highs right here. Okay, so they are also 50-minute relative equal highs, which means that this is a really high probability pool of liquidity, and we have the daily fair value. So we have the, okay, so let's start slowly like this. Wait, okay, so let's see what happens. Let's drop to 5 minutes so that we don't get too much candles. So with this one we get a sweep of liquidity. So we have a sweep of liquidity. What do we next? We need bias in our favor. If it's going to be A plus, we are looking at an A plus setup. So we have bias by us being into the daily fair value gap, meaning we could go lower from it, which means that for this particular session our bias is bearish. Then price switches into a fair value gap, which in this case we do not have a fair value gap above here. I think so. But that's fine because that's still an A grade trade. Then what do we need next? We can drop onto the lower time frame because we have swept this liquidity. Now we need a break of structure. Okay, so we are waiting for that. That's still no break of structure. Okay, here this is an obvious break of structure right here. This is our break of structure, and we have done it with energy. So we have swept this high once again, and we pushed lower with energy. Okay, and then we can see that we have this 2-minute fair value gap right here, which would be our entry, especially because, as you can see, it's the first fair value gap in premium. Okay, so we can enter right there. Stop can be at 5 pips right at the high, or maybe a bit above, let's say 5.5, that's fine. And then we can target the Asia low, for example, or these lows. For me, I would target, in this case, probably just a 1 to 2, that's fine. Or if we have something on the 15-minute, let's see. Okay, so we have a 15-minute fair value gap. So let's say that I'm aiming at the close of this fair value gap right here. And let me try to set up an entry. I'm not sure. Okay, so the quantity, let's say 90k. But I need to, I don't know how to put limit orders if it's impossible, but I'll just go like this. Okay, so okay, I'm not gonna try to place the trade, but let's say this is the entry, or I can actually, let's just press sell right here. That's fine. Let's put stop right there and the targets right here. Okay, so this would be this one. This is the entry. Okay, so let's see how this plays out. Okay, as you can see, that's very nice. Let's see what else did get reached. Okay, so at the 15 we could have aimed this low right here and this low right here. Okay, let's see if it went even lower. Okay, that's it. So how could you approach to get this full move? If let's say we are going at this high right here, what you could have done is after price reached 1 to 2 right here, stop loss to break even, and then target 1 to 3. Now if you wanted to target this low right here, then after price reached 1 to 3, let's say this is your target, you can put your stop at plus 2%. Okay, so in this case it reached everything with this one candle, but let's say that it went like this. So let me replay a bit. So let's say that the situation is like this. You're aiming at here, and you have a 1 to 2 right here. So at this point, when this reached, you are putting your stop at break even right here. So this would be your stop. Okay, and then your next target is this one. Now you wait for price to reach 1 to 3. And let's say that price just reached 1 to 3 with this candle. So after the price reached 1 to 3, you would put your stop to 1 to 2, which is, I guess, right here. And then you let the trade either go here and stop you plus 2% or go fully to your target and get you a, in this case, 3.36R. That's basically it. That's the trade of the London session today. Very, very clean price today. So that's what we like. So yeah, that's about it. This will be a long video, but there's a lot of value in it. So yeah, thank you for watching and goodbye.